The interesting thing that I found is that there are actually New Testament prophets and Old Testament prophets found in the Quran. We've actually written a text that explains the reaction and interaction of the Quranic stories and the biblical stories. And what one will find is that the Quran's representation of the prophets is done in sniblets or bites. It really doesn't sit down and tell a story. It tells pieces of stories throughout, and you have to read the entire text to get the flavor of these people. And as individuals, caricature studies, the Bible is a little better grouped and organized in time period by the authors and the subject matter, but it's still written in a somewhat convoluted manner. And the reason that is, I mean, people laugh when I share this, is that Moses didn't have a word processor. You know, it's curious, we expect it all to fall in perfect chronological order as if we did it. As we're typing along, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, whoops, got to go back up and insert a line in chapter 1. Moses and the early writers of the Bible and the Quran did not have that opportunity. They actually recorded things in scratching on rocks, sheepskins and things of this nature, and there are often inserts that belong up here in the text that are inserted down here because they're telling the story and go, whoops, it's like someone telling a bad joke and they have to back up and tell the joke. But as the writer was recording it, he just recorded it where he was. So by design, the Bible is jumbled somewhat. A number of the teachings of these old texts are convoluted and messed up because we think that he had a word processor and just did step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's not that way. It may be 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6. And so what happens is, and that's why in the biblical text, many things are restated multiple times because he's trying to get you back on track. Unfortunately, there's so much information there, sometimes we get lofty in our thinking, distracted in our mind, and we get off the path rather than staying on the path. What we've done, we've actually gone through and done a historical biblical alignment of the stories of the Bible, which aligns these people geographically, historically, timeline, and actually, you know, we actually find the real characters of the Bible. Once we did that, we then looked at how the Quran presents them, and there's an obvious lead-in as to why the texts are written the way they are. And we're releasing a series of books that actually explains how the Quran was written with the glorification stories of prophets without the human side, and how the Bible tended to have so much human side that appears at times to conflict. But it's really our perspective that conflicts rather than text itself. And we explain that in some of our books. They can be found at the website SolomonSeries.com. So I encourage people to comment on the videos now, and I leave all comments up. Leave them all posted because people have a right to be heard. I hope that people will at least watch 2 or 3 videos so they get really good comments